This Sunday is a multifaceted Sunday. We have so many different things that we are marking and commemorating on Sunday, and it's been a little bit of a puzzle to try to figure out how to balance everything. And yet I think we have a really wonderful liturgy planned for you this Sunday here at St. John's. So of course it's the second Sunday after Pentecost, and we have this wonderful narrative from the gospel about Jesus healing. And we have many of these healing stories during the summertime, as well as a beautiful passage from Paul's epistles talking about God's providential care for us and how that we are all children, all united under one Father. But of course, we also know that it's Father's Day, and that sort of fits into that Ephesians lesson pretty well. It's also Juneteenth, and that's another thing that we want to really hold up and embrace here at St. John's. So we have a lot of things that we're trying to hit, and yet they all seem to kind of go together in a kind of a strange way. So one of the ways that we're going to mark Juneteenth is by having the opening prelude and postlude, the organ pieces that bookend the service, are both by African American composers. The opening voluntary, the prelude, is by George Walker, who was a very successful concert composer, not so much a church composer, but wrote this really lovely and tender organ piece, and it's a chorale prelude on a tune that's in our hymnal, hymn number 440, which is "Blessed Jesus, we are here, gathered here to hear you." Now, the melody is so interwoven, it is there, but it's very hard to hear. So I invite you, if you want to do a little sleuthing, to turn to hymn 440 in your hymnal during the prelude and see if you can pick out that melody. But it has a nice, gentle, rocking, almost like a lullaby feel. Very gentle, nice peaceful way to begin the service. But then we'll come right in singing "Praise My Soul, the King of Heaven," this wonderful Victorian hymn, Lauda Anima, and it's something that we really enjoy singing. Pay attention especially to that third verse that begins, "Father-like, he tends and spares us," a nod to the Father's Day that we're celebrating. At the sequence, we will be singing words that come right out of that Ephesians lesson about in Christ there is no Jew nor Greek, and in our hymnal, in Christ there is no east or west, in him no south or north. And it has that really wonderful, jaunty hymn tune, McKee, which is variously attributed as an African-American spiritual or as a composition by Harry Burleigh, who of course collected and memorialized many of those African-American slave songs. At the offertory, the choir will be singing something that now harkens back to that healing story that's in the gospel, and they'll be singing a setting of "There is a Balm in Gilead," again, another spiritual that we will be incorporating into the service. And then, just to show that we can add in one more small little strain, at the communion, the choir will be singing a very short, very familiar motet, "O Taste and See," by the English composer Ralph Vaughan Williams. And it really has much more to do with the Ephesians lesson and the idea of God providing for us. And yet, it is kind of an interesting coincidence that we've all been sort of watching the celebration of the Queen's anniversary, and this piece was actually composed for and first performed at Queen Elizabeth's coronation. So we have a lot of things going on this Sunday, and yet it all kind of comes together and makes a seamless whole with some beautiful music that is well loved, as well as some prayers and some readings that are really among the most favorite that we have. We hope that you will join us here as we celebrate all of these things here at St. John's.